This podcast is brought to you by Enlightening Learners Academic Coaching and Tutoring Services.
In this presentation, we're going to learn to solve equations with variables on both sides of the equal sign. Alright, so we have variables on both sides of the equal sign, and that's a problem. We've got to get them on to the same side before we begin. It really doesn't matter which side you get them on, but you've got to get them on the same side. So I want to move this negative 5x over to here to combine it with the negative 2x. The way I do that is using the additive property of equality, which says as long as I do the same thing to both sides, the equation remains balanced. After each step, I want to simplify. Now you notice that this canceled, which is what I want. Once again, I've got to do another additive property to get this 3x by itself. So once again, I'm going to do the additive property. I'm left with 3x is equal to 9. And finally, I want to use my multiplicative property to get rid of the 3 times. I'm left with x is equal to 9 over 3, which is 3 over 1, or just 3. Remember ampios, additive property, multiplicative property of equalities, or opposites. Once again, I'm going to move this negative 2x because I prefer to move left to right. Subtract 2x. And I can also, at the same time, if I'm doing additive property, do that. Just recognize that this cancels, that cancels, and I'm left with 1x is equal to 12. And in this case, I don't have to divide out. I could, but it's not going to make any difference. X is equal to 12. Alright, so we've got another problem here. Once again, I need to move this positive 2/3 x to the other side, and so I can do that by subtracting 2/3 x from both sides. I have like denominators, which is nice, and I have the same signs, so I'm going to add, and this is going to become a negative 6/3 x minus 5 equals 7. Well, the negative 6/3 x, that can simplify to a negative 2x equals negative 5. Sorry. Minus 5 is equal to 7. I want to add 5 to both sides. And I'm left with negative 2x equals 12. I divide by negative 2 to get rid of that multiply. That cancels. X is equal to 12 divided by negative 2, so negative 6. And just lastly, the ampios, additive and multiplicative properties of equality, or opposites.